Before I start this video off, sorry it's been a while. I've literally going through 1,000 editor positions because I just have so many and I want to make sure I'm making the right choices with what I'm doing, so that's why videos are taking longer. But once I get my editor, I have so many videos planned that could just come out boom 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 on a pinpoint schedule, and this is just gonna be great. Also for people, yes, Broly is hype, yes, we all know that's hype. Godzilla is hype. Shazam actually looks like a good DCEU film, and what else is there? The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series was it was okay. It doesn't compare to other ones. It's more of an internet show, but the action's great in it and it's fun. But besides that, let's talk about freaking Baki right now. Yo, dudes and dudettes, your friendly neighborhood JaxBlade is back, and today I just want to take this time to talk about Baki the Grappler, because I've been watching the new series and people were asking me how are you watching the series or something like that. Google's your friend for everything. Alright, I seriously, it's one of those things where people always ask where do you read your manga, where do you read this? Literally Google or Reddit is your best friend in that scenario, so that's what I go check every single time. But I've been watching the new 2018 Baki the Grappler. It's only got 4 episodes out now, and I was talking to a few other people about this, and I keep getting these messages and questions on either YouTube or Twitter or other places, because people are seeing this Baki thing and oh, I actually want to watch it, but they don't realize it's season 3, and so they ask do I have to watch the original Baki the Grappler that came out in 2001 to 2007? Do I have to watch that one before watching this? And yes, you do. You pretty much, it's one of those things this follows rightly after season 2's end, but don't worry, your friendly neighbor JaxBlade is here to help you out. Don't worry, I got your back with this, boo-boo. I got you, don't worry. Now, the original Baki the Grappler series was about, I want to say, 40 or 50 episodes or something like that. So it basically followed Baki from the beginning, how he got started and all this stuff. And then this new series is pretty much covering the prisoner arc from the manga, for those who've read the manga. Hopefully they get to the Pickle arc, because that'd be freaking dope if they get Pickle animated. That is just finally, I just want to see that. And then of course the final massive fight, that'd be dope too. But yeah, so far this is just covering that arc, which follows the Maximum Tournament arc. And I figured I'd do this video to help people who want to really watch this new series but don't know where to either find the original series or watch it, or they just don't want to watch 50 episodes, because I'm gonna be real with y'all, this was back in the old Funimation days where the dubbing wasn't that great. And also if you watch the Japanese, some stuff with the animation, even though the manga is not the prettiest thing to look at, some stuff from the animation in the anime is just some parts haven't aged well, but some parts are just okay, it's still cool. It gets you hyped to train. But right now what I'm going to be doing is, for those who don't want to be oh yeah, let me say this first. For those who do not want to be spoiled for anything Baki the Grappler related, and you want to go back and rewatch all that or read the manga or whatever you want to do, by all means, stop the video right now, go watch all 50 or 40 episodes of the original series, and then you can just watch the 2018 series as it is. And for those of you who are just wanting to watch the 2018 series and just not read the manga or watch the old series because you're freaking lazy, alright, fine, I'm gonna hook you up, because I do want you to watch Baki the Grappler, because it's such a hype show to get you motivated to train and work out, and just, it's so beautiful, I love it. So what I'm gonna be doing now is I'm gonna be talking about how I'm basically gonna catch you up Baki the Grappler super fast. Super fast, I'm gonna catch you up from everything that happened in the past series, so you can watch this new series fresh and be oh, okay, I understand, I'm not completely lost when something happens, alright? So for those of you who want to watch the original, by all means, go watch it. But for those who want to stay and just listen to how it basically went, or for those who've already seen it and just want to hear me sum it up, then here we go. I'm about to get into it. So let's just get right to the work. So the series starts off with our main protagonist, Baki Honma, challenging a group of 100 gang members and just completely effing up most of them, because he knows that his father, Yuujiro Honma, just can completely decimate an army of people, so he wants to try at least 100 gang members, and he knocks out a good chunk of them. And this kid is just a 13-year-old boy. Take that into account. He's a 13-year-old boy, and his newbie gains are phenomenal, because he is just jacked beyond measure. And for those of you who want to know everything about Baki the Grappler's training from his childhood to adulthood, I actually covered that in my Would Baki the Grappler's Training Work in Real Life video that you can watch when it slides across after this. But for right now, let's just get to it, talking about it. And he just completely is owning all these people. The cops know him. They know that he lives in this little place by himself. He's a 13-year-old kid who has the best training in the world, because his mom which I explained with that workout video, is basically rich, because what happened was his mom was going out with this rich guy, and then Yuujiro came along and killed him, and then she inherited the rich guy's fortune. So now she's basically been letting Baki train his entire life in the best facilities, best, like, everything that you want, like, ideally in a gym, she has for Baki, so he can be the best, because Yuujiro wanted a strong son. And now, let me take a moment to just talk about Yuujiro Honma. Yuujiro Honma is the freaking GOAT of this series. Like, imagine him like the freaking Saitama unbeatable monster of this series, because like no one on this planet can F with him. Alright, he will just completely do it. Like, when he was 16 years old, he was destroying entire militaries just for fun. Like, this was just him fodderizing entire arms. He wants you to be armed. Like, he wants a challenge. So, like, he does all this stuff around the world, and he's known as the strongest creature on the planet because he can just F up everything. It got so bad that he was F'ing up all these military people that they actually had to make a world peace treaty with him. So it's just like, you stay on your turf, we'll stay on our turf, just don't mess with us. And that's basically what it does. He's just an anti-villain. He doesn't do anything sinister or anything like that, but he is just like the most devilish, powerful person on the planet, and he believes it, and no one can F with him, and no one's proven otherwise. So it's just one of those things. The only one who could spank him is his daddy, and you know, that's just another thing for another day. And since Baki's just been training since childhood just to be the best him possible, just before his dad, because that's the only reason Yuujiro bred him. Yuujiro bred Baki to be the son that could surpass him, because nothing on this planet could surpass him, and so Baki's just been training hardcore just for that right now. So he is just training, he's going to athletic facilities that like Olympians use, and he's training, and he's incredibly athletic for a 13-year-old boy, but he's just like, this is not working for me. I need to do something, because there's no way I'm going to be able to kill a polar bear or a giant animal or anything like that with just this normal basic gym training. So I'm going to go improve myself. He actually challenges a pro boxer to a fight, and he does pretty, you think he's doing pretty good until the boxer just completely lays him out. And so Baki starts to reevaluate like the type of training he's going through, and he's just like, you know what, I need to go improve. So he goes up into the woods to meet his father's old friend. Well, friend is a loose term, because Yuujiro doesn't really have friends. He just has people he trains with or does what some with. He does whatever he wants, basically. He just does what he wants. So he goes up and meets his friend Ando, and Ando just completely is this massive mountain man. They do like these strongman training in the woods with like axe chopping and carrying logs and boulders and all this stuff. And Baki and him are just training together until they realize that there's a monster in the woods, and it's basically this giant monster known as the Yasha Ape. And the Yasha Ape is this massive, insane monster that actually F's up Ando really bad. And so Baki's just like, well, I gotta beat this monster. I gotta beat this monster. So he starts training himself extra hard, not only with bench pressing and heavy weightlifting and running and stuff like that, but he wants to activate his endorphins, and I go in depth, really in depth in that in my would Baki's training work in real life video. But he's going through all this, he's training, he's bulking up too. He's bulking himself up to be a better match for this character. So he starts eating a lot more, he starts bulking, he's getting strong. Then he finally fights the ape, and him and this ape have this massive fight, and Baki finally beats the ape, but he doesn't kill it because he realizes it has a family, and so they become friends, and then that's pretty much the end of that arc right there. So when Baki comes back down from the woods, he's just reached this entirely new level of strength, and he actually goes to see the boxer that kicked his ass, and he basically just destroys the punching bag easily. And he talks basically shit to the pro athlete, saying like, well, what you guys do is a sport, it's not actual fighting, you're too limited, all you do is just punch and do this, but you don't have no elbows, you don't have biting, you have knees and all this stuff. And he's basically just talking a bunch of crap, and then he leaves, and just, he backs up what he's saying, though, so they're all just like, oh, that's crazy. But then we meet Hanayama, who's just this massive bro like Yakuza boss, and he's just like this kid too. He's a kid like Baki. He's like, I want to say 16 when we first meet him, and he just loves his mom and cares for his mom, but he is just so massive and so strong. And he actually goes and F's up the boxer that originally F'd up Baki, because he has this move where he just grabs you and squeezes you and just completely rips the tendons and blood vessels and muscles all in your arm and just completely F's you up. And he goes and F's up this boxer, And then Baki is going to fight this guy because Baki just keeps fighting and challenging all these people who he thinks is just really strong and worthy to fight against, because he wants to just keep improving himself as a fighter before he can challenge his father. So basically him and Hanayama get into a few scuffles with each other, and then they're having their final battle, and guess who shows up? Freaking Yuujiro. And Yuujiro just, like, you think Baki is doing pretty damn good against Hanayama because they're having this insane fight, and it's pretty good to watch, but nah, Yuujiro just comes and throws Hanayama like a rag doll. Just nothing. He was nothing to him. It's just completely showing that he owned him in every category, no matter what. And that's when first time we actually see how dangerous freaking Yuujiro is. Hold on, I think Katie's texting me right now, so let me see what. Yeah, it is her. Okay, give me a second. 1 second. And then this is basically the pattern of the original series, is Baki would like fight a new fighter, like adapt their style to his, and then like just try to modify himself to be a better fighter and discard what's useless from like learning experience. So for example, he fights this group of mercenaries led by this dude named Gaia, and Gaia basically, just the best way to explain to y'all recently would just be he has ultra instinct, like he can predict moves and dodge and just like move effortlessly and stuff like that. And so Baki's trying to fight this guy and defeat him because he feels like if I can beat this guy, then I can definitely beat Yuujiro. And Yuujiro is just, you know, going around doing good old Yuujiro shit, what he does, just trolling. And he goes and he fights him, he beats him of course, and learns new skill, and then that's just the pattern of just beating someone new who's very intelligent and powerful, and just like, oh my god, I can't fight this guy, but I beat him in the end anyways. And then it just gets to a point where Yuujiro goes, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with this kid. And so he goes up to the mountain and he finds the Yasha ape. Remember the monster he just fought? So he goes up into the mountains, kills Baki's friend, the Yasha ape.
He was my friend! He was weak!
He throws it at him and he's just like, in a month we're gonna fight, so you better be ready. So after this, like, Baki just becomes hell-bent on beating his father, and he thinks he can do it because he's just beaten all these incredible strong fighters, and he's like doing all this insane training, like wearing weighted clothing, doing all this stuff. And it goes to that month later, he's bulked up quite a bit now, he's added more muscle to his frame, and then he fights Yuujiro, and Yuujiro does some insane shit because like right before they're about to fight, a freaking earthquake happens and Yuujiro stops that shit with a freaking punch, and then him and Baki just go at it. And Baki, it's just clearly obvious at this point that Baki is no match for his father. His father is just playing with him, like everything Baki tries on him, and Baki's this really expertly strong kid. It's just not working on Yuujiro, and Yuujiro just completely F's him up and just completely owns his ass. Now I'm gonna rewind the clock to something important. Now, as I mentioned before, Baki's mother like helped him like with so much stuff, gave him the best training equipment, the best coaches, best all this, because she wanted to make her son incredibly powerful so that Yuujiro would love her, because she was obsessed with Yuujiro. She frankly didn't care about Baki like that, all right? She really didn't. She was just like, you're my son, but whatever, like I'm making you strong just for him because I want him to love me. And so she was just borderline obsessed over Yuujiro. He like pounded that shit real good to the point where she's just like, I'm in love with this man and his power. And so when she goes to watch Baki fight, because all of his friends are there watching Baki fight his dad, she starts realizing that this isn't cool. Like, that's my little boy, and the father of my son is beating him up, and he's just like toying with him in a way. And so she goes into the fight and she's just like, no, you ain't doing this. This is the first time in her life she's ever like shown any love and caring for Baki like that. So she goes and slaps Yuujiro, and Jiro's just like, all right, fuck it, and he snaps her freaking spine and kills her on the dot. So Yuujiro kills Baki's mom, and then Baki is just left there like completely broken, and then Yuujiro just goes and kicks the crap out of all of Baki's friends because that's what he wants to just do. He's just in a rage, and just not really a rage, just like a punch. He's just punch happy. Now we get to our 3-year time skip, because Baki has just been traveling the world like freaking Ryu and just fighting every martial artist he can and just owning every martial arts school. He's just honed his skills, bulked up even more, and now he looks how he does in the new Baki 2018 series. Like, this is pretty much Baki for the rest of the series. He went from having red hair to now having brown hair, and he's just super yoked up, and he's just going to go fight in this tournament called the Maximum Tournament, because that's where all the best fighters in the world are, and he still just wants to prove that he can like be the best fighter in the world. But during the Maximum Turn arc, Baki moves in with his future girlfriend and her mother in this place where he can just train religiously and just be able to get on his way any time of day. And it's just like the most ultimate man cave a guy could have. And fuck you, Tor, for My Hero Academia, because I know what you would say. So it's one of those things where it just looks freaking awesome, and he trains in every day, and he basically goes to this tournament every single day, and he becomes the champion of this Maximum Tournament, which just has all these underground fighters and martial artists from all sorts of life. Like, it has pro wrestlers, it has freaking boxers, MMA people, judo experts, like every one person. And there's just so many characters to talk about during this arc that I can't do them justice in such a small video frame. So that's why I highly recommend either watching it or reading it, because like there's so many characters. I'm just gonna try and cover like a handful of them that are very important. Like, for instance, Dopo Orochi is the bald karate man and just insanely powerful. And actually he has this insane fight with Yuujiro Honma. He's doing pretty good against Yuujiro, but then Yuujiro sees Baki walk in, he's like, and he like takes his eye out, and just that's why he has an eye patch right now, because Yuujiro took his eye out when he challenged him in the tournament. And it was a pretty cool fight though, I'll give him that. It was a pretty cool fight. Also, he has this insane son who can do this insane feats. That's a kid who's all jacked up. And then also we got the Kung Fu guy. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he's in the new show too, because he's during the prisoner arc. And yeah, they're all just so many characters are introduced in this little arc. And during his fight with Dopo Orochi, we learn about the Honma demon back, which is something Yuujiro Honma has, where he flexes his back. Also his father had it, and the Honma bloodline has it, where he flexes his back to the point where it looks like a demon face is in it. And just think of this as just like a Super Saiyan or a Kaioken boost. Yeah, Kaioken boost, because it increases his speed, power, and all this shit when he's flexing. And it's just an intimidation factor that increases his killing and tech and fighting matter. And it just like, it devours the souls of people. He said that when he fights them, it just like completely intimidates them and makes them stronger all over. So he unleashes that, takes out Dopo's eye, and then it's just like, yeah, pretty much I'm sold here. I don't have to worry about it. And then Baki and Yuujiro are not on good terms like anymore. Before, Baki used to somewhat look up to his dad because he was just like, oh, I want to be as strong as him. But ever since he killed his mom, he's just like, no, fuck that guy. I hate that guy. No one can beat this guy. You shouldn't fight this guy. It's just dangerous. But we also learned another thing about Yuujiro. Yuujiro had another son, and that other son is Jackhammer, this fighter who's been going through the tournament, biting people's fingers off and biting people. And he used to be this really skinny kid who overtrained so much, but got these steroids that put in his body, just made him just super jacked, super strong, and just a super agile fighter. And he's just going through, and he wants to fight to kill Yuujiro as well. But he finally meets his brother Baki, and both of them have a fight, and they're just going at it. They're just ripping each other apart. And then Baki finally unleashes his own demon back, and that's when he's able to defeat his brother. And then he like busts his teeth, he puts him in this lock that can't get out, you can't get out no matter what. And it's just like he wins the Maximum Tournament, and it's just shown like he is undefeated in the Maximum Tournament. He like fights so many people. There's so many fights I'm not even going over right now, because you should really watch them for yourself, because I don't want to just spoil the ending for most of them. I know, well, it's sort of spoiling it and talking about it now, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, Baki fights so many incredible people that you definitely just have to watch the show for yourself in this. But that's how, actually, well, yeah, that's pretty much how the original ends, because the last few episodes is just like a flashback of Yuujiro when he was a teenager, just fodderizing military personnel before the world made peace with him and made that peace treaty. So yeah, that's pretty much Baki the Grappler. Now, I did not even scratch the surface, because there's so much stuff to go through in Baki the Grappler, and I'm just doing this because I'm encouraging you to go rewatch the original series. You can just watch a subtitle if you really want to, because I really do want you guys to watch the original before watching this new one. But this way, you can just go into this new one, and in the new one, they explain like certain characters when they first show up, like, oh, this is so-and-so, blah, 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 he did this. So like this will just make it easier to understand when you're watching it. So when they do the demon back flexing, you'll be like, oh, okay, what the hell is he doing? No, that's what it does. It makes you like freaking powerful and does all this stuff. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm gonna really single down on getting all these excuse me, editor choices down, because I literally had to go through 1,000, and that's so much, and my forms are slowly getting a little better. Like, I'm still working on that. Again, excuse me, I drink too much fizzy water thing, where I'm going to be I just lost my train of thought, where I'm gonna be getting my editor and then making videos more consistently. And also I'm going to be at, HorseCon this week, for all those of you who already know what that is. And then I'm going to Dragon Con back in like August, end of August, something like that. So yeah, that's gonna be fun too. And yeah, I just want to say that. Sorry I haven't been uploading frequently. I really want to get back on my grind. Like I love to. I'm going to get back to that 2016 Jax. That was JaxBlade, like just prime when I was just like I had the eye of the tiger, stuff like that. So I'm going to get back to doing that as soon as possible. And yeah, I hope you enjoy Baki the Grappler. It's an insane muscle fetish anime that I love it so much. It makes me want to train hard. I love it. It's just absolutely insane to get into. And I hope this made it just easier so you can just go and watch the new Baki on Netflix and be like, oh, okay, I understand that pretty much now, because that's pretty much all the series is about, just fighting and muscles and saying stuff, and just makes you just pumped up. It feels like it gives you testosterone. Also the intro for the English dub, just beautiful. All right, well, I don't got much else to say. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Be sure to follow me on my social medias at JaxBlade Fitness. I tweet a lot, all right? So really, like, if you want to follow me on Twitter. And then my Facebook page, I upload a lot there. And also Patreon, new rewards, stuff like that. Thank you for all people. And also, before I forget, this is a stinger for most y'all. Project Deku was such a massive success. I had such a great time working it, and so many people are sending me the results from just a few months. Not even the 10 months are over, and they're getting like really great results. So I'm just like so flattered. And it's time for me to work on a new project. The new project is going to be Project Naruto. You can click in that link down below. It's not going to be just about Naruto though. It's going to be focusing on developing that hero's will, and I'm going to go more in depth with that, but I'm just hyping it up, and it should be, you know, coming pretty soon. But you want to know everything about this, just sign that link down below and we're gonna get started. But I really hope you do sign up for this. I can't wait to work on this new project. I've been talking to my team and just having so much fun with it, and I help people with Project Deku. This is just to help people even more with like motivation and consistency and just being the best you possible, because that's what we want to be in this life, is just the best you. So thank you all for watching. Remember, like I always say, keep calm, booyah on, and don't forget moment high. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Click that link below, sign up for Project Naruto, A Hero's Will, and we're gonna get started. Booyah. All right, it's good to be back.